Hi everyone, this is Richard. In this video we're going to go over Sprite. Sprite, where is it? Right here. In the documentation is a display list building block. Basically it's a node, it's a new node, and that's all we're doing. So if we went back, again, here's the element, here is the stage itself, and so that's the node on the canvas, right? The render loop is starting the motion going, and the resource manager is getting all the objects, images, and stuff like that ready to go. So, but where are we going to put it, right? Where are we going to render it on the screen? Well, we have to tack it on somewhere. We got to put it on some other type of node. That's how HTML actually works, or that's how the DOM actually works. So this is a way of getting a node and sticking it onto the stage itself, which will be a child. The sprite will be a child of the stage. So that's how we actually can do something like this. So we'll say var logo. Notice the creator of this, I really don't like using var on a regular basis. But again, everybody's different, and I'm not going to criticize, but just kind of that's just something to keep in mind. I would prefer to use just the actual typing, again, personal preference. So var equals new sprite logo.addChild. So we're going to go ahead and add a child because this is a DOM element, okay? It's a DOM node. We're going to add a child onto that, which is going to be a new bitmap, okay? Now the bitmap class is going to be something that contains the bitmap data right inside of here. So it's going to be that information right there. So you can add any node on top of the area itself. There's probably going to be a new video or sound or something like that. So different types of sprites for different types of pieces of data. Okay. If you wanted to have multiple things going around in the system though, so if you wanted to have not just this, again, something here, something here, something here, you would have to create a separate sprite because it would be a separate node, right, for every single one. If you were able to add two children in the same, okay, let's do that actually. So let's just say logo.addChild new bit map, and we're going to add Firefox. Actually, I'm going to say new Dart. So what we'll do is we'll get this and we'll call this one Dart. And we'll do Dart right here. Okay, so we're going to have two different variables to get the Firefox image and the Dart image. And we're going to add both of those. Let me format this a little bit. Add both of those onto this particular node. Okay, so we're going to add two children's onto it. What is that going to look like? There's two at the same time, right? So you can't separate them separately because they're all part of the same node. It's stuck there. So you have to have two separate sprites, okay? So let's remove that right there. All right, and so when you do create a DOM node, what's going on here? Well, you have the same properties as what we could do before, right? So all of these features, we can add children, add event listeners. All of these methods are not particularly unique to stagehand. These are just typical standard methods that you can use with these nodes. All right, so that's all right there. But what you could do, and this hopefully maybe it's a little bit new, but it's something that it's not easy to look up because the documentation, my opinion, is not all that great, but you can sometimes figure these out. So logo.pivotx. So what does that actually mean? Well, when we take a look here, oh, what's going on there? Oh, I didn't save it. When we take a look at that itself, there is a pivot area itself, which is by default. So the image here goes here, here, it's up around here. The default is at 0, 0. So at 0, 0, there's a pivot area where if you're going to twist it around, that's going to be the axis where it's going to spin around. So if we show you that, And again, this is just typical. This is not unique to Stagehand itself. You pivot around, it pivots around that particular axis right there, right? So if you remove that, you tell it, wait a minute, I don't want that. I actually want to pivot around the center. So we're going to say the height and width divided by 2. So the pivot area will be right around here. So it pivots right in the center itself, okay? If you said divided by 3, divide by 1, you're going to change the pivot area itself. So it would be width divided by 3, so it'll be right around here and right around here. So that would be the pivot area right around there. I'm not even sure what the heck that is doing. So you get the concept, right? So we'll divide it by 2 just so that we could spin it right on its axis. And then we're going to say where are we going to place the node itself, and it's going to be right at the top. So 1280 is the dimensions of this particular canvas and the stage. So, and we're going to do it right in the center, okay? And finally, we're going to add it. So we've given the characteristics to the node itself. Now, what do we do with it, right? Because it's not actually being rendered anywhere. So we're going to get it and we're going to stick it onto the stage itself because that's the DOM node. We'll get this DOM node and we'll add a child to it, which will be this one in and of itself. That's what we have to do. So let's take it step by step, and I hope this is making sense to you. It's starting to make sense to me. So as we go by, we'll learn a little bit more about how making this, and we'll get more advanced as time goes by. All right? Thanks.